In this video, we are going to discuss about the 7 talking points that we have just observed from the Manchester United win 1-0 over Luton Town. So let's start with the first talking point. It's about the style of football we have currently. It's simply survival football. It's boring, it's not exciting, and it's only about one thing, getting results. That's it. But I can't blame Ten Hag and the team. Given the number of injuries we have around 16 or 20 first team injuries till now. Our players are low on confidence, and somehow the referees seem to want to give every decisions against our team. So I'm not blaming Ten Hag for playing this kind of football just to get some wins. But am I happy about this kind of football? Absolutely not. And I understand why it's happening, because we just have to get through this difficult phase of toxic media, of negativity, of low mentality, and just get through this, get some players back, get some confidence back, and just go on a winning run. Next talking point is about our lack of goals from our attackers, especially because there's a very weird stat, this season, that all of our attackers combined have one Premier League goal this season. Only Rashford from our front line has scored a goal. Rest of the goals are from midfield and defense. That's really horrible stat, especially for a team which has such high paid players. The reason for it is simple. Our system is dependent on wingers, but the problem is our wingers are really selfish. They either cut in and just shoot off target or shoot straight at the keeper, or they try to dribble so many times that they lose the ball. We don't have creative wingers who like to link play or who like to put in good crosses. That's what we are missing. Our team has a really good XG, expected goals, but the reason we are not scoring them is because our attackers get into positions where they're shooting either straight at the keeper or just shooting off target. That's a really big problem where our attackers are just not scoring at all. We have a few creative wingers. Sancho, Gulagd. Pelistri, not getting game time. And the third, and probably our most creative attacker, which was also in form, it's Amontillado. But he's currently injured and we don't know when he's going to come back. The third talking point is that it's not only about negativity in this video. There were some positives. 2 positives, namely. First, Onana. He seems to be coming back in confidence. He seems to be making better saves, better with his feet. I know he made a really horrible pass in this game where he just passed straight to the Luton player. But as a whole, he seems to be taking more command and seems to be more sure with his hands, which is really good to see. The second player I am happy to see is Maguire. Maguire, in this recent, let's say 2 months, with our centre-back injuries, he has been really solid. He has turned his career around at United, at least for this season. I don't know if he's going to stay beyond this season, but at least for now, he is indispensable to the team. He is not the best defender in the league. No. He is just really, really solid. He goes in as a central defender and he does what a central defender is supposed to do. Win tackle, win headers, pass the ball safely, that's it. Nothing complicated. I think taking the captaincy off him and not playing him not a lot, it has just reduced the pressure that was on Maguire. It just made him focus at, I don't have to be a captain anymore. I don't have to be the 80 million best defender in the world. I just have to go in and do my job. That's it. And that has helped him tremendously. And we can all see that on the field. The next talking point is our midfield. If you look at Manchester United's midfield, everyone can see it's imbalanced. Currently, we're not even playing with a central defensive midfielder. So why is this happening? I think it's because Ten Hag wants 2 kind of profiles in his midfield. One would be a pacey central defensive midfielder. Casemiro is great. We all know that. He carried us last season. But he's getting outrun in that midfield. We need a young, pacey defensive midfielder. For example, someone like a prime Kante. He was small, but he was really fast and good at tackling. Or someone like Onana from Everton, who is also young, but he's really fast and really good at tackles. Another example, Bissouma or Sar. So we need that kind of defensive midfielder in a team. The second profile that Ten Hag was chasing after, it's a technical box-to-box player. What does that mean? It's a player who can play box-to-box, running power, but at the same time, he has to be really good at passing and dribbling. And who's an example of that? Frankie de Jong. De Jong can dribble past 3 players in the midfield, and then he can pass the ball 40 yards pinpoint. That's why Ten Hag was chasing after him the whole of last summer. But of course, he didn't come here. So I think Ten Hag is trying to mold Mount into that kind of player. I'm not sure, but that's just my guess. Or he'll be looking for that kind of profile in the upcoming transfer windows. Because if we have a pacey defensive midfielder with rumors such as Andre from Brazil and a technical box-to-box midfielder, for example, De Jong or even Valverde or Camavinga, then that's the kind of profile which can just make us dominate every midfield in every game. That's what we are missing. Because as long as we don't have these kind of players, our midfield is going to get overrun. And we're definitely going to lose a lot more matches. The next talking point, and probably the most controversial, it's what's happening with Varane. There have been recent reports after the Copenhagen game that Varane and Ten Hag actually have had a big fight. The reports are saying that it's because Varane was upset that he wasn't picked for the derby game and he was dropped for Evans. And the reason given was that Ten Hag doesn't like when Varane plays with another right-footed defender. The thing is, I don't believe that's true. First of all, Varane has been a top professional at our club and at Madrid. So I really doubt that he would pick up a fight with Ten Hag just for dropping one game. So the thing is, I think it's much deeper than that. Either Ten Hag doesn't trust Varane's fitness, that he gets injured so often that Ten Hag doesn't trust his ability anymore to play at a high level. Or it could be the reason that he only trusts Varane when he's with Lisandro. And he doesn't like playing Varane and Maguire. Because we have seen him play Varane and Lindelof. But because Maguire isn't in form, he doesn't seem to trust this partnership of Maguire and Varane. Maybe it's an ego clash between the two or something. But if this keeps going, I can see Varane leaving in January or in the summer. Our sixth talking point is our fixtures after the international break. Because recently, if I look at our games, it have been favorable to us and we have been barely scraping. Now the tough fixtures start. As you can see on the screen, our first 3 games right after the international break is Everton away. And in this game, ETH is suspended because he has got 3 yellow cards. Next game, Galatasaray away, which is a must-win if we want to continue in the Champions League. And after that, it's Newcastle away. 3 really tough away games, and our away form is awful. And in one of those matches, we won't even have ETH. So I don't even know if we can win 2 games out of 3. We probably might lose all 3, given our form. But let's hope for 2 out of 3. And that's not the end. That's just the start. After these 3 away games, we have Chelsea at home. And both Chelsea and United are in terrible form. So anything could happen in that game. We could score 5 goals. They could score 5 goals. Anything can happen. Then Bournemouth home, which might be the easiest fixture out of all these. Then we have Liverpool away. And given what happened last season when we played our strongest 11, and now we are going to Liverpool away with probably our weakest 11, it's going to be a test of mentality. And it's probably going to decide if ETH is going to stay in the job or not. After that, we have West Ham away. West Ham have been really good at home this season. They even defeated Arsenal a few days ago. Then we have Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa are currently above us in the league. And Unai Emery has been a really top manager since he has come back to the league. So that's going to be a really, really tough match. Probably as tough as Newcastle away. And lastly, before the next international break, we have Nottingham Forest away, which is again going to be tricky. In this recent form, it was all about winning games and getting some confidence back, because now the real tough test starts. Continuous matches, playing a match every 3 days, and 90% of these games are really, really tough. So I think this period of the game is going to decide if ETH is going to stay in this job or not. And for my last talking point, it's about, of course, Erik Ten Hag. There are some really interesting stats. I support Erik Ten Hag, and I think he should stay in the job because our form in the league is 4 wins out of 5. That's really good, right? But there's a catch. These 4 wins are 1-0 against Burnley, 1-0 against Sheffield, 1-0 against Fulham, and 1-0 against Luton. 3 out of 4 of these teams are bottom 3. And we are just scraping 1-0. But the thing is, yes, we have gotten a lot of points and we are 6th in the league. And we are in a top 4 race. But only getting 1-0 wins against the bottom 3 teams. And with the upcoming tough fixture, I don't think this form can continue, of course. But let's continue to support Erik Ten Hag because of 2 reasons. First, he's a joint fastest United manager to reach 50 wins, along with Mourinho. And the second point, he's the first United manager who has won 30 Premier League games out of his first 50 Premier League games. And that's really impressive. And somehow the people, our own fans, want to sack him. I really don't support that, given our circumstances. Massive injuries, massive off-field issues, Greenwood, Anthony, Glazers, infrastructure, and the referees just going against us every time. So yeah, I believe in Erik Ten Hag. Whether he stays in this job or not, it will be decided in the next 1.5 months. If you liked my content so far, please click on the subscribe button below and also click on the like. I'd also love to know your opinions about this game and what you think is going to happen to United in the upcoming matches. I'll see you all in my next video. Goodbye.